Hello students, welcome to English learning. I am here with the class 10th, poem number 2, Fire and Ice, written by Robert Frost. Now hear about the poet. Frost was born on March 26, 1874 in San Francisco, California. He spent the first 11 years of his life there until his journalist father, William Prescott Frost Jr., died of tuberculosis. Beginning in 1897, Frost attended Harvard University but had to drop out after 2 years due to his health concern, September 9, 2019. And here again I am telling the birth date is March 26, 1874. His education in from Lawrence High School, Dartmouth, and he died on January 29, 1963. His famous works include Fire and Ice, Mending Wars, Birches, Out, Out, Nothing Gold Can Stay, and Home Burial. His 1916 poems, The Road Not Taken, is often read at graduation ceremonies across the United States. As a special guest at the President John F. Kennedy. In his inauguration, Frost became a poetic force and the unofficial poet laureate of the United States. He died of complications from the prostate surgery on January 29, 1963. Now the poem introduction. Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of two ways, either by ice or fire. Both the components are compared with self-destructing human emotions, that is hatred and desire. So the poem is very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us, and if we don't control them, they will surely destroy everything around us. Similarly, the poet thinks fire and ice both are just as the components in bringing the world to a catastrophic end. Now the students hear the stranger voice explanation. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So here the explanation of that stranger woman. The poet compares fire and ice with the destructive features of human emotions, desire and hatred. He says that from what he is aware about fiery desires, he would favor the one who said that it would be fire. By saying so, he brings about the idea that human beings let their emotions rule them, and the consequences of unmonitored longing is chaos. The poem expresses the profound idea that the world would end neither of two ways, either by ice or fire. One group is of the opinion that someday the earth core will get so heated up that it would lead to a fire destroying the earth's surface. On the other hand, the second group says that the temperature goes down to an extent and makes the earth impossible. It would have the same catastrophic effect. Now the stranger too. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. Then, by not waiving off the first option of fire, he considered if the world has to expire twice, ice would be equally competent in ending it. He brings about the contrast between ice and hatred, the human capability of insensitivity and hatred as the potential for the inner destruction. Though slow and steady, it has the same effect that desire has on us. So, if given an option between the fire and ice would be so just as good as fire to destroy the world. Here the word meaning are there. Just go through this word meaning and write down in your copy. Now literary device. Here the rhyming scheme of this poem is ABA, ABC, BCB, and alliteration is used. So here alliteration's definition is the repetition of consonant sounds at the start of two or more closely placed word. Example is given, the sound of F, favor, fire. So F is repeating, and world will. So again here W is here in this. So this is known as alliteration. Personification, where the human qualities are compared to inanimate object and given as if it is alive. So fire and ice both are told to be a destruction, and it is being personified as a power to destroy anything. Other figure of speech that is literary device is enjambment, where the whole poem, that is, it is without any stoppage and it covers the next line. So from what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Imagery. So a literary device, it is used here to make the reader feel that according to the five senses, some say that the world will end in fire. Symbolism is there to give some special themes or idea for the meaning, literal meaning. Example, fire symbolizes desire and ice symbols hatred. Assonance, so repetition of the vowel sound, that is O. Here I hold, so it is given HOLD. Here so HO is giving the sound, assonance. Those, O is again there, who, again that, so that is called assonance. Now summary of the poem. In the poem The Fire and Ice, the poet has presented two opposite views about the end of the world. The poet discusses the two possibilities regarding the end of the world. One possibility is the world ending in flames of fire. The poet feels so when he ponders over the burning flames of desires of people. These desires for more money, more power, will surely hurl the world into another nuclear war, which will burn up the entire world in flames. And second possibility is the doom of the world is with the ice, when the world will be finished, and that is due to this ice only. So the poet feels that if we have so much hatred against others in our heart, then there is sufficient to freeze the entire planet to the death. And fire of evil desires and ice of wicked hatred are two contradictory opinions presented in the poem, that is Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Now central idea of the poem, that is the poem Fire and Ice by Robert Frost revolves around the theme that human emotions are destructive. When allowed to run out of control, they can destroy a person morally, mentally, and physically. So the poet impresses upon the readers the destructive results of bearing ill feeling like greed, avarice, lust, conflict, fury, hatred, intolerance, etc. Key point of this poem, that is, it has written very symbolically, that is fire and ice, both it is given as symbols. And there are many two opinions about the end of this world, by fire or another by ice. Symbol fire and ice have been used for human emotions like desire and hatred. A fire can spread very fast and cause a great destruction in no time. Likewise, our desires may also prove very destructive if they cannot be controlled. Hatred causes slow destruction like ice, but it's also very harmful. Now, conclusion of this poem, it is, Frost wants us to know that fire describes the passion which is not hasty. Ice describes the rational which is cool, deliberate, by using figurative language like symbolism. We know that we must read the poem repeatedly to really have a deeper understanding of the poem. So this is a symbolism. Analysis can help us to achieve that. Here some short question answers are there. Just go through this question answer and write down in your classwork copy. And now at the last, it is question for your practice. So 6 questions are there. So just go through this, find out the answers and write down in your classwork copy very properly, mentioning each and everything with the date. Okay, thank you students.